We do have Leanne Jaffe on the phone right now. She's a parent of a student at this high school down in Parkland. Now, daughter's a freshman. She was in the freshman building where she says all of this started. Leanne, can you kind of take us through when you first heard about this and how it happened?
My daughter called me on the phone. There's a lot of balloons because it's Valentine's Day, so the popping, they just thought the balloons were popping. They didn't realize that it would be gunfire. It was about 2:30, and it was just an odd time for them to have a fire drill. So it just didn't sound right to us. And so she was being told to walk outside and just kind of stay near one of the buildings. And then that's when I kind of just did some digging. We found out there was an active shooter. So I told her to run, and she ran across the campus, and she and a few of the other kids were hopping a fence to get off the property.
Leanne, how did you find all this out? Obviously, have you been reunited with your daughter?
Yeah, she's with me now. One of the other moms had called me and said that there were kids that were calling her child called her screaming that there was blood everywhere, that because her daughter is also in the freshman building and obviously saw some other stuff, and then one of the teachers was down.
And Leanne, obviously this school seems very large. Can you give us a sense of where exactly this happened? Was these shots primarily in one area, or was this suspect able to kind of make his way through the school?
No, from what I was told, from what Dara said, my daughter, that everything was in the freshman building on the second floor. So it's how many stories is that building? There's 3 stories on that one building. So when you first walk in, there's a big courtyard in that school, and to the right is a tall freshman building, and that's where primarily, obviously, the freshman classes are held, and that's where it happened.
What was it like? I'm curious. It has to be chaotic when you are trying to find your child after all of this. Can you tell me how you got reacquainted with your daughter?
Oh, I had to run. I parked about a half mile away. And there were just a bunch of parents just running across traffic and trying to find kids. There's a lot of kids telling us where they were from Snapchat, just different places. A lot of the kids dropped their phones. My child lost her glasses somewhere in the fields when she was hopping the fence. One of the teachers actually was pulling them down, trying to get them to be contained because obviously the shooter was still at large, but I don't know if I told her the right thing to hop the fence and keep running because we didn't know where the shooter was, but I just wanted her off campus.
Yeah,
in
the moment.
Very understandable, yeah. And we understand that, Parkland is a very tight-knit community, and so I imagine over the next coming hours you're going to be reaching out and getting in touch with as many of your friends that you possibly can. Do you know anything about this 19-year-old suspect that we are hearing about?
We don't know anything about him. We just know that there's still a bunch of the children. I don't know if their phones are dead by now or anything, but Dara can't get in touch with a lot of her friends. So right now they're all trying to connect with each other, and they're putting, saying, oh, she was wearing this today, she was wearing that today. Has anybody seen this person or that person? So that's what the kids are doing right now, just through social media, trying to find each other. But as far as the shooter himself, I know nothing about him.
So your daughter is still trying to reach out to some of her friends?
Oh, yeah. There's still a few kids, and there's a particular mom that still hasn't heard from her child.
I can't imagine going through this as anyone, especially a freshman in high school. Can I ask, how's your daughter holding up through all this?
How are you holding up, Dara?
I'm doing fine. I'm just worried about the couple of friends who I can't get in touch with. No one seems to be getting in touch with 2 or 3 of my friends. So we're all very worried about them. So that's my main focus right now, but I'm doing okay.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We're glad your daughter made it out safely. Hopefully she reunites with her friends soon. And thank you so much, Leanne, for taking the time to tell us this story. We appreciate it.